Welcome to day 2 of No Experience, No Problem. So please make sure you have taken the time to work on your day 1 action item before you move on to this module. Remember, this is all at your own pace, so please have grace with yourself. If this takes you more than 5 days to go through, that is completely fine. You are most likely juggling many things, and it is not important how fast you get through this. What is important is that you don't quit. So keep taking those small steps, those small actions, so that we can reach your goal. And that's my biggest hope and dream for you. So today we're going to talk about leveraging our past experience to create your virtual assistant offers. We will take the time to link your unique skill set to what you can offer as a virtual assistant. I believe you will be shocked at how much you actually know how to do. Many times people think that since they have never been a virtual assistant before, that they can't be one, and that is simply not the truth. The first thing I want you to do today is look at yesterday's list and create a new list of what you are good at. And if you get stuck here, ask yourself, what do people come to me for? And so this could be when people, maybe they're planning a wedding and they're boggled down with how to make this plan. They don't know like how to make a spreadsheet, or it's too much and it's overwhelming, but they know you're super organized, you're a great planner, right? Well, that is something that you can create an offer with. Or just, what do your best friends come to you advice for, right? Or your spouse or whoever it is. If you're still working a 9 to 5, what do your coworkers come to for you to help them with, right? And this can be a great way to start realizing some of those skill sets that we don't see in ourselves. And if you really are still stuck, go to the people around you and say, what do you think I'm good at? Right? Because the people who care about us, people who see us, most likely are seeing a lot more of who we are and where we excel. And this is going to help us realize like, oh, you're right, I am good at that, or that is something I actually enjoy. And so that can be a great way to help you figure out what this list is going to look like for you. And some great skills to have that can be learned as a virtual assistant are, time management skills. So time management skills are essential to ensure that all tasks are completed accurately and on time. Now, if you are very organized and you are able to make this happen for your client, you are going to be such a valuable resource to the team, because your client knows they can rely on you when they give a deadline or you say this can be done by Friday. They don't have to stress about it because they know that you are going to get it done because you said you would. And so this is probably one of the biggest skills to work on. And it's something that you can learn, right? You can learn project management software, and you will need to learn project management software. And that might, if you've never done it before, that might sound really daunting, but nowadays there's so many simple platforms out there that it really isn't hard. So I encourage you to really think about where your time management skills are and what you could work on to improve those. And then attention to detail. Now, oftentimes when people become a virtual assistant, they want to deliver things so quickly because they want to make their client happy. And yes, we want to make our clients happy. We want to meet those deadlines, but I really encourage you to slow down. Pay attention to those details, because it's crucial when dealing with sensitive information, ensuring accuracy and precision in all of your tasks, right? And this is how we provide high quality service to our clients. And then we have communication skills. We always want to ask ourselves when we're working with a client, how can I be better at communicating with my clients? Okay. And so if communication skills, if that's like something you are just phenomenal at and you have this down, then that's excellent. If that's something you struggle with, I encourage you to figure out a process that works for you to make sure that you can improve in this area, right? How can you set yourself up for success? And sometimes this just means putting reminders in your project management system. If you say you're going to get something done or you're going to provide an update by the end of the day, don't lean on your own memory to make sure you do that. Put that somewhere that it's going to remind you. And maybe it's not a project management system, maybe it's your calendar, whatever that looks like. Just make sure that you are able to deliver on the communication promises that you make, because clients, you'll get to know your clients. Some clients want these updates, some clients don't. But in the beginning, over communicating is not a bad thing until you learn your clients, and you'll figure that out, whether they like those updates or if they just want you to run off, get it done, and they just are going to trust that you have it handled. We want to make sure that we're providing these frequent updates to our client if that is what's promised, right? So we're ensuring that their expectations are being met and exceeded. And you might notice the focus here is on keeping our clients happy, right? Providing excellent value, because it is much easier to retain a client, right? We can find new clients, and there are always new clients out there. But if you find a client you're really aligned with, you really like their business, you like working with them, then let's put a lot of focus on keeping them our client. And then we have being professional, being adaptable, right? Adaptability is crucial when working with clients in varying industries. Because just because we come in, we have all these processes we like, this is how we're gonna run our day. And you do have a lot of say in that because you are an independent contractor, you are a business owner, and you are not an employee. However, we might need to change things up a little bit. And that doesn't mean that you are there whenever they say you need to be there. But if we need to move things around to make sure that our business works well with their business, sometimes we do have to make those compromises. Now, being professional, this is a non-negotiable for me, right? We need to treat them with respect. We don't swear at our clients, right? We write business emails. We can be friendly, we can have fun, but please, please do not cross this line of being professional. It is an expectation I have for everyone who goes through my programs, because you are a business owner, right? And as a business owner, I really encourage you to treat this as a business owner would. Now, as you're leveraging your prior experience, you're writing down, so far you've written down everything you've done in the past, what you enjoyed, what you did really well at. What I want you to do now is to make 3 separate lists. What do you absolutely love? So that's your first list. It's your love list. And then you're going to make another list called the, okay, I can do it. You're willing to do these things. You don't love them, but they're not that bad. And then you'll have your love list. Within this list, this is not for you. And the reason I'm putting this here is because oftentimes when people first start out, they just want a paying client. They're willing to do absolutely whatever. Okay. And I get that. However, my goal for you is to make sure you enjoy your business. And I don't want you to get 4 months into this and you're just like, I can't do this. I'm burnt out. I don't look forward to Monday morning. This is not working for me. And so if you can create these boundaries from the very beginning, then you will enjoy this and you'll succeed so much more, because we want to love our businesses, right? And the reason I have the okay, can do it list in here is that no, you're not going to absolutely love 100% of all the tasks that you're going to be, taking care of for your client. And that's okay, right? If we can get like 70% of the things we do on that first list there, that love list, then I feel like we're in a good place. And the other 30 can be on the, okay, I can do this. I understand it. It's a little tedious, but whatever, we're going to move forward. And really, if there's one item on your load list that you do and you do it like every couple of weeks, then maybe that's something that's fine for you. But if that list becomes a high percentage of what you're working on, you're going to hit a point of burnout. And so I really want you to avoid that from the very beginning. And I also want you to, from the very beginning, not have that mindset where you just need to sign anyone you absolutely can, right? We want to make sure that we have clients that we enjoy working with. They don't drain us. For me personally, this third list are things like sales. I was approached with a lot of jobs around being on a sales team, doing sales calls. Okay. Can I do that? Yes. I really dislike that though. And so that's an area that if that was part of a role that was being presented to me, I declined it, even if it paid well, because that was something, it stresses me out. I don't enjoy it, right? I don't look forward to those calls. And it wasn't aligned with what I wanted to do. And I held true to that. And it really made my experience that much better. And with this, you guys are on day 2, and I just want you to take this step by step. So don't think ahead of the process too much. Don't start getting overwhelmed with, well, I just don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can start a whole business, because we're going to take it step by step. Now, we have this list, right? We have our past experience, some of the skills that we've done in those roles, what we enjoyed, and then we have those 3 lists that we just made, right? What we love, what we can do, and what we really do not like, right? And so from all of this, what is something that your ideal client would need? Are you starting to see trends in the list that you are creating? And from here, I want you to start thinking about what would be that dream gig. So if someone could hire you tomorrow, they're going to pay you exactly what you want to make. You're going to have the schedule you want to have, the flexibility, whatever works for you, right? What does that dream gig look like? And so I want you to draft out, it could be a bullet point list, it could be 3 sentences, I don't care. Just start thinking about what that looks like for you. And again, we have to have adaptability here. Our first, or probably most of our gigs are not going to be exactly what you write down, but it helps us see that vision so we can start, knowing what to look for when we start sourcing potential clients. And then we're going to break down the list that we've made to create our potential offers. Okay, these are not set in stone, and each client will be unique, and flexibility is key, like I just said. And how we're going to do this, and you have some resources in your portal here, but look through the list and start seeing if you can group them into things that would go together. Maybe you love customer service. Okay, so what could you put in that customer service bundle? Now, when you are looking for different gigs online, they're going to tell you what they need, right? And so you're going to have to adjust these offers that you create based on what they're looking for. But it kind of helps you understand, like, I provide customer service, or I provide social media engagement, just so that when you are speaking to someone, you have an idea of how to speak about what you can provide. Now, here's something I like to have all of my clients do. Now, you've heard of ideal client, you've heard of target audience, but what I want you to do is give them an actual name. So when I went through this exercise, I named her Danielle, okay? And then I had to write out, why is she my champagne client? Now, when I talk about champagne clients, if you think of like champagne's a celebration, it's high level. And I mean, I personally don't drink, but I like the analogy here. It's like your champagne client versus like your cheap beer client, right? So what does this champagne client look like? What is their name? What type of business do they run? What are their values? What are their hobbies? How do they like to communicate to their team? Are they very involved with their team, or do they just check in now and then and basically let the team do their thing? And so go ahead and do some journaling around this of what this person looks like. So when you are trying or ready to start getting those discovery calls on your calendar, you can start kind of seeing who do you want to have these calls with. And then I want you to research offers, okay? Look at what other people are doing in their niche, right? So virtual assistants tend to have niches where maybe they work with online business coaches, maybe they work with real estate agents or direct sales business owners, stuff like that. So look at what people are doing to kind of just start getting the idea of what your offer could look like. If they have their rates posted, you can check out their rates. Now, we aren't doing this so that we can copy them. It just helps us understand what is needed in the industry or what the possibilities here are. And then you can look at different social platforms to see what is out there, what is working well. You can go look at Pinterest. You can look at YouTube. There's so many different things out there just to get an idea of what people are looking for. One tip I can give you here is if you go to google.com in the search bar, you could type something like, I need to hire a virtual assistant or how to hire a virtual assistant. And what Google's going to do once you hit search is it's going to show you a little bit down below the most searched questions related to that. So as you start clicking on those questions, you're going to see some things that people are asking, and you might be able to identify what type of support they're looking for, or some questions around why they're confused on how to hire someone. So that when you have those calls, those are some questions you can make sure that you answer before they're even asked. And one thing I just want to point out here is when you are creating these lists and services, we always want to focus on ongoing skill development. Okay, so if you want to, let's say you want to provide launch support because you are really good at event planning, you're organized, and that just makes you happy. Make sure that you do make it a priority to stay up to date on the things that you're offering. And you can do this for free. So you can watch YouTube videos, you can practice new softwares. Most of them have a free version. And just get to know those platforms. And that's going to help up-level your skills and the services that you can provide to your clients. And when we do this, we can also raise our rates because we are now more experienced in the area of the services that we're providing. And one thing I like to always tell people is action leads to confidence, and confidence leads to cash, right? And that leads to success. Because once we start seeing that success, we're going to be more confident in our own ability, and that comes across in our discovery calls. It comes across in the work we do and how we present ourselves as a business. So your action item for today is to identify skills and tasks that can serve a client, and then research similar offers and start practicing relevant skills. And I would also add in here, if you can, draft up a little bit, even just a small blurb of who your champagne client is. What is their name? What type of business do they run? How do they interact with a team? What's their personality like? So if you have time, I would love to see you take that action as well. As a reminder, please make sure you're doing these action items before you move on to the next module. So I wish you luck on this, and I will talk to you tomorrow.